What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mag. So, of course, we're going to this game this coming Tuesday against Everton. And, of course, Frank Lampard's debut as the Everton manager in the Premier League on his return back to the Premier League, of course, since he's sacking as the Chelsea boss. And, of course, he takes over from none other than Rafa Benitez, which, you know, I really feel bad for because you could just feel it was going to end this way with Rafa Everton. It wasn't, ever going to really work out for him there. You could see by the way the fans were reacting, they just didn't want Rafa at the club. And he hasn't really been there that long. And now Frank Lampard's in. So, Frank Lampard has gotten it off to a good start for them in the FA Cup with a 4-1 win against Thomas Frank's men. And, of course, has allowed for them to push into the next round of the Cup. That means that with them, of course, playing that Cup game as well against Thomas Frank's men, and it being on the Saturday, that means they'll go into this game on the Tuesday coming with a little bit of fatigue, with them playing, of course, on the Saturday. No Donny van den Beek for that game, no Dele Alli for that game, of course, with them being cup tied. So that means that they probably will be fully fit and in contention to come into the game against us at St James's Park. Of course, it's going to be a sellout crowd, and there will be debutants from Newcastle as well, in the likes of Dan Burn, Bruno Gomes as well, with key signing, absolute steal of the window in my eyes, and of course Matt Targett, who came in on loan from Aston Villa as well, will be in contention for the game. Definitely in my eyes, Eddie Howe will be going with Dan Burn and Bruno Gomes and Matt Targett in that starting lineup. You would at least think so. You have to at the end of the day, because looking at the way what defence has been this season, has been absolutely dreadful. Kieran Clark has now been dropped from that 25-man squad. Jamal Lewis as well has been dropped from that 25-man squad. He's also been linked with a move out to Turkey. Kieran Clark's been linked with a move to the MLS as well. So, it's going to be an interesting game, for sure. It's going to be an interesting game. At this moment in time, going into the game, of course, we're 19th place. We knew we were going to be 19th place going into this game, as Burnley and Watford were playing their game in hand during the FA Cup games yesterday. As I record this on the Sunday, of course, they were playing on the Saturday in their game in hand in the Premier League. And, of course, it ended in a scoreless draw at Turf Moor. And Weghorst, their new signing, Burnley's new signing, didn't really put in much of an effort. When he did get through on goal, he was smacking it over the bar. So, for me, you can't judge a player on his first game. Obviously, that's just unfair to do that. But, looking at that performance, I'm not that worried about Weghorst as a goal scorer, for Burnley. I'm really not. And Watford looked very, very lacklustre in that game. Burnley looked very lacklustre in that game. And they didn't really look like teams, that were willing to fight for their Premier League status. And, they didn't have any ounce of the effort that Newcastle put in against Leeds United down at Elland Road. They just didn't have any of that showing at all in their game. And I sat and watched the whole 90 minutes of that game of Burnley and Watford, and it just was very, very drab, a very poor game. Of course, most of the games were poor yesterday in the FA Cup. Most of the games have been poor in the FA Cup, to be fair. And that game in the league, just wasn't great neither. It was a really poor showing of football this weekend, in my eyes, for the games in the midweek. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. We'll go into this game against Everton. Everton are currently, at this moment in time, in 16th place. They've got 19 points. We go into this one on equal pointing with Watford with 15 points. Of course, they have minus 17 on goal difference, whilst we have a minus 22 on goal difference. So, of course, there's a 5 difference in the goal difference. But if we win this game against Everton, we can get 16, 17, 18 points out of this game. and that can push we into 17th place if we win the next game against Aston Villa. After that, we'll get 21 points, I believe it is. So we need to win these games. These are winnable games. The game against, of course, Everton is a winnable game. We've done really well against Everton of late. We got the double over them, and I believe we got the double over them in 2 seasons now. So, hopefully we can do it again. Hopefully we can come away for 3 points from St James's Park on Tuesday after this game against Everton, and we can be outside of that relegation zone for the first time in a little while. Aston Villa, of course, of the game after that, they're currently 11th place in the league, 26 points out of 21 games played for Aston Villa. So hopefully, we can do well in that one as well. That is another game at St James's Park, and it is going to be another sellout as well, as is the game against West Ham down at the London Stadium. That's a sellout as well for that game. But it's a tough road ahead forward, but we're going to have to fight. And looking at the way the players have been training as well, I've been watching training videos, and the players look like they are willing to fight for this club. Bruno Guimaraes as well has impressed a lot of people since coming into the door. And of course, he's put in a really good training effort in just a half training session as he arrived in Newcastle, of course, from Paris. He came in on a private jet, and of course he put in an absolutely fantastic performance in training. So we'll see how he goes in the game against Everton. I'm really, really confident that Eddie Howe will go with Dan Burn, Matt Targett and Bruno Guimaraes from the off to go alongside, of course, Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood as well, with all 5 of our new signings playing in the game against Everton. I'm 100% confident that he will go with that in the lineup. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel, scan the QR code over here to subscribe to the channel, take you straight to it. All you do is just take your phone, scan the code, and it will take you straight to the page to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, helps the channel to reach a wider audience, and of course it supports the channel as well for absolutely nothing. So let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Until next time, I'll see you all there, and how about the lads.